can read my scribbles here, but I also, on behalf of the Armenian Church of Atlanta, thank you for coming here on such a beautiful April day where it's pretty outside. I know you guys have a lot of work to do and school and all that, but I know we have to do this commemoration once a year, every year. Ironically, today, April the 23rd, is also Children's Day in Turkey. It's a happy holiday, and a lot of celebrations will be going on while we'll be mourning our martyrs today and tomorrow. The month of April is spring, the flowers bloom, but did you know there's also a darker side to this month? The Armenian Genocide, the Holocaust, the Ukrainian atrocities, Cambodia, Rwanda, Darfur, all these horrible events started in the month of April. It was 95 years ago, during another month of April, that the new Ottoman rulers that had overthrown the Sultan and dragged the empire into World War I saw an opportunity to rid the country of all non-Muslim minorities. Not just the Armenians, but also Greeks and Assyrians. Their aim was to create a homogeneous people comprised of Muslim Turks only, living in the shrinking Ottoman Empire. So on April 24, 1915, they put their plan to work. They arrested, murdered, or sent into exile 250 of the most prominent Armenian leaders in Constantinople. That is present-day Istanbul in Turkey. All prominent intellectuals, doctors, writers, poets, professors. What followed was the deportation and the extermination of the Armenians from their ancestral lands without discrimination to age or sex. There's hardly an Armenian family today living in Armenia or in diaspora that has not lost one or more of its members during this act of genocide. My family was one of the fortunate ones. They lived in Constantinople, which was then the capital of the Ottoman Empire. They were spared because of the presence of foreign embassies, press, and others. I grew up in Turkey. I speak their language very well, and I know quite a few distant honorable Turks. Most of the older ones know their history and the events during the events of 1915. Younger Turks know nothing because there is no mention about any of them in their school books or history books. It's only been recently that some courageous Turkish writers and intellectuals, despite the threat of prosecution, have come forward and started speaking and writing about this dark period in their history. And if they read history, they will also learn that there was some good among the bad. There were many cases of Turks saving or helping Armenian neighbors. Cases where the local officials refused to obey orders from higher-ups. But along with these progressive thinkers in Turkey, there are also some nationalist elements and the present government that are in total denial and in a reactionary mode as if they are under attack from all sides. This sort of thinking led to the recent assassination of the outspoken Turkish Armenian journalist Hrant Dink, who dared to write about the genocidal events of 1915. No country in the world has a totally unblemished history, but no civilized country that I know covers up the unpleasant events of their past. We don't deny that we mistreated the American Indians, or that slavery was a horrible institution. They say it denies the second form of perpetrating genocide on the victim. And that is why us Armenians still carry the pain after 95 years. As a Christian and the chairman of the parish council of our church, I don't seek revenge. All I wish is that the Turkish government recognize the dark period in their country's history and offer an apology. Maybe then the pain will subside and the two neighboring peoples will live in peace and harmony for the next 95 years.
Chair of the Board of Trustees of Eastern Diocese of Armenian Church of Greater Atlanta.
This is the right time to pass the genocide resolution in Congress, and now, not in the future. The struggle has been going on for many years. Not recognizing genocide resulted in atrocities like, to name a few, the slaughter of people of Bosnia, Rwanda, Darfur, and Sudan. And the same happened in 1989 when Turks called Azeris attacked the Armenians in Karabakh with a plan. What was that plan? It is not hard to predict. It was a plan to wipe out the Armenians from historical Armenian land, Karabakh. Have the Turks changed? The answer is no. The purpose of this denial is to wait for another opportunity to commit genocide. And now those in denial are much more educated, richer, and politically more powerful. They are the same killers, but with more power. Today I will speak about Turkey's past, the present, the plan for the future, and the Armenian Genocide. Good afternoon. I want to thank every one of you for being here today. For many years, we have been working together to pass the Armenian Genocide resolution in DC. I received compliments from different congressmen and senators on how determined the Armenians are about passing the Armenian Genocide resolution. The United States government, by recognizing and officially commemorating the Armenian Genocide, can help ensure that the lessons of this terrible crime against humanity are used to prevent future genocides against the Armenians or any other people. Some politicians in their remarks about the Armenian Genocide always circumvent the word genocide. They use all kinds of vocabulary but the proper word, genocide. They say this is not the right time to pass the genocide resolution in Congress. No, this is the right time to pass the genocide resolution in Congress. We're here today because we all know that this is the right time, and now, not in the future. The single greatest obstacle to passing the genocide resolution is the Republic of Turkey, which in spite of the overwhelming evidence documenting the Armenian Genocide, continues to pursue a well-founded campaign in Washington, D.C. and throughout the world to deny and ultimately erase from world history the 1.5 million victims of Ottoman Turkey and later the Republic of Turkey's systematic and deliberate massacres and deportations of Armenians between 1915 and 1923. Turkish Prime Minister Erdogan said in his interview with CNN on April 13, 2010, that no nation or people have the right to impose on Turkey their own version of history. The reporter asked if he knew if President Obama would not use the word genocide in his speech addressed to the Armenian American community. Erdogan responded that he will speak to the president and that it would be his expectation. This year, the House Foreign Affairs Committee passed a resolution which recommends the United States government to recognize 1915 killings of Armenians in Ottoman Turkey as genocide